Welcome to the Daily High. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. The price of Bitcoin was exciting. Good volatility. Tone, how was your weekend? Instagram made it look fantastic.
Yeah, no, the weekend was great. Got to Miami yesterday. Got back to Miami yesterday. Was a fun night. Shout out to a few friends that were hosting. There was some kind of music festival right outside the condo. Crazy drone show. It's on
Yeah.
my Instagram. And now back to hanging out with Satoshi Dog, who has his own Instagram. And shout out to Bruce Fenton for these mugs as well. I never got mine. But this one is Doug Scribner's.
Well, hey, Doug, if you can hear me, nice to see you again. Look, I don't know if there he is. I don't know if you can hear that on through the cans. Look, I don't know if it's I've got a bit of a flu at the moment. I don't know if it's the cold and flu pills, the cough syrup, and the beer running through my veins, but I'm feeling pretty good about the price of Bitcoin. I've got that feeling again. I did a fair bit of trading over the weekend, so would you like me to go into it first?
Yeah, let's go. I haven't looked at the charts in 24 hours, so
All right.
go for it.
Let's catch up. I want to get rid of some of these lines. I'm going to start on the 4 hour time frame just so I can get rid of some of these lines. On Saturday, my Saturday, your Sunday, whatever, we came back inside the green wave on the 4 hour time frame. But I really like this. This is what I said in the previous show. There's many things that could happen at this point. I said, but one of them that I was really looking for was this printing a higher low on this, like to get this W pattern. I used my little indicator, my little drawing tool here, which some people didn't like, but it is what it is. We did exactly that. So it was really interesting. When we came back into the green wave on the 4 hour time frame, I took on a position at 62,777. And then yesterday on Sunday, I got stopped out of that position, closed out of that position at 64,288. So that was a nice little trade. So I'm just going to delete these dotted lines here now so we can clean it up. I then yesterday re-entered the position. I'm not sure which candle it was on. I can't totally recall. I did it on my phone, believe it or not. And then a few hours later, I actually added to this morning. I added to that position. So I'm going to raise my initial entry from 64,885 to 65,216. So I'm very, very, very long at this moment in this leverage trade. I'm using more leverage than I normally would. I think I'm 5.1x leverage. And I think it's a $410,000 contract. So quite a large contract size. But I like this. I like that we were doing the higher highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows structure throughout this period. And then with this setup right here, when we came down and printed a higher low, I really like that. That's a sort of a 4 hour time frame reversal for me. Does that mean we're in the clear? Absolutely not. But it was worth taking a punt on. And I like that even when I added to the position, it got in at the sort of the price that you'd be wanting to get into on that trade anyway. So I'm going to the daily time frame. I'm all over the place. I'm at the daily time frame right now. This is a bearish cross, but I really love the bearish crosses that only last for a minute or two. I thought throughout the day I came in and added more to the position at about 66. Was it 66,666? I texted you, Tone, when I did it. So I added to that position there. I thought that it's possible that we'd come all the way back down to the marriage of these two, the 7 simple moving average and the 30, but we didn't. We've recovered off that now. So that's still on the cards for today, absolutely, which would be my entry price right now. But for now, I'm really liking where we are. I'm going to turn the MRI on for a second. We're on a new a green one on the MRI count. I know Tones doesn't want to see a really good response off this candle because he'd rather have it on tomorrow's candle, but I'll let him talk about that when it comes on. But as far as I'm concerned, up here we got that 68 still in range the same way we did back here. We were really excited about the 68. We came back down, we put in a higher low, and we're back to that 68 being that great breakout area. Should we get above 68, 500, just that range there, even 67, 800, we'll call it 68. I'd be really excited about this price for higher upside on the trade. I'll just quickly scan around here before Tone gets in. 12-hour time frame. Yeah, we got stuck on the 30 right here on the last few the last 24-hour period. But once again, it's all covescing in that same zone there. I'll go to the weekly, but I'm really annoyed with the weekly time frame because of the 2 weeks in a row, this terrible data error. I mean, that just looks terrible. But as Tonal mentioned, I'll leave it for him. The MRI top is potentially coming in on next week's candle. So I'd love to see it as a big blow off MRI 9 to get into that box and zone. But I'll leave that for Tony to talk about. Point is, I'm fully locked and loaded. I'm really satisfied with the position, and we'll see how it goes. Tone, take us through it. You're off speaker, mate. Off mic.
That better? Yep,
Better.
there we go.
Perfect.
Muted on the microphone itself, which is rare. All right, let me go to the charts. My commentary may be a little bit more on the boring side because even though there was volatility this weekend, and I much rather have the price of Bitcoin sitting at resistance of 68,000 versus support at 62,000. For me, nothing has changed. It remained a no trade zone. I have been looking, I can't wait to be a huge bull once the price is consistently above 68. Now, as we dive deeper into the shorter level time frames, like the 4 hour, 1 hour, you can hone in on that, and you can say, oh, now I'm bullish as of 67.5. Now I'm bullish as of 67 and 250. So as you dive into lower level time frames, let's go to the weekly first, and because that's where math ended, so I'll start there. So this week has just started. Today is Monday. Yep, it is a data error once again, and it's an MRI warning candle. In order to get the MRI top candle, we would need next week to be trading above the closing weekly highs, like the new weekly high close ever, right? So which was 69,000 basically. So if next week Bitcoin trades above 69,000, we will get the MRI top. However, in order for me to really consider this MRI top to be a selling indication, I would need it inside this box. So I would need that price not only above 69, I would actually need it above 79. So next week, this week plus next week, we would need to rise approximately $10,000 in the price of Bitcoin. Now, yes, I would like to see that. And then I would be considering that zone as a, maybe it's time to sell right before the halving and wait for a proper 30% pullback. However, based on how we're trading right now, I think the probability of that is less than 50%. I am bullish here, but I'm not that bullish, okay? As I've been saying for the last 3 or 4 days, I think the chances we break 70 are higher than the chances we break below 60. And that's what I've been waiting for. But at the same time, breaking 80 it's possible. I think there's a higher chance of breaking 80 than 55 to the downside. But I'm not betting on that. So for me, the most likely outcome is still getting the MRI top, but not in the $70,000 range, somewhere in the somewhere in the $72,000, $73,000, $74,000 range, but not in the 80s. And that means we would have had 5 weeks of consolidation going into the halving. And if we continue to consolidate into the halving in the mid 60s to upper 60s, I will not be looking for that massive correction in line with the halving. I will be looking for more upside following the halving. So I would see this as a correction through time instead of waiting for a correction through price if we do rally into the box. So most of my outcomes are leaning bullish instead of bearish, but the most likely one is more consolidation with an upwards bias. Now, back to this is the allocation chart. The allocation chart remains 100% long. And until these moving averages cross, I'm not really concerned. But if we consolidate, they're going to cross. But even if they cross in consolidation, I'm going to stay a little extra patient here because of my overall bullish bias. On a daily scale, this consolidation is really, really good. And as Matt just said, I would rather see the breakout on tomorrow's candle than on today's candle, because on tomorrow's candle, we would make the perfect a green star candle, where if it happens today, no matter how high we go today, there is not going to be a green star candle. So in my perfect world, at 8 p.m. Eastern time today, the price is at exactly $68,000. And then tomorrow, we're going above 68,250, and that becomes one of my most perfect entries. It's a perfect entry in terms of continuation trade, not in terms of the buy the dip falling knife trade. And the continuation trade is usually a lot safer than a falling knife catch. Now, as I said earlier, as we zoom in, we can get a little more defined. So instead of everything I just said, looking for a close above 68 on the daily candle and a move past 68,250 on the daily candle the following day, on a 4-hour chart, everything begins at 67,750. That's where we have the moving average support, and that's where we have the MRI resistance line. Everything just got dropped a little bit. If we want to be even more perfect on the 4-hour chart, we want this MRI top that's coming in right now to kind of pull us back a bit and bounce off the moving averages. So a pullback to 66 at some point in the next 24 hours. And then the rally. And now, once we start breaking 67, even at that point, 67.50 might even do it, because that's where the moving average is going to be. Did my MRI warning candle just disappear? Because I can swear it was there a second ago.
Yeah, it did. It did.
So
It did.
there it is. It's back.
Yep.
It's back. So I wouldn't mind seeing an MRI top here on the 4-hour chart on the next candle in 3 hours, because it's happening in consolidation. And it's, in a way, it's irrelevant, right? If an MRI top happens in consolidation, or if an MRI top doesn't happen at all, it's pretty much the same thing. Like, it's completely irrelevant to me whether we get an MRI top or not. It's not like it was right here with the MRI buy opportunity. Yes, I would rather see this because we're trending down the whole way. Here, we already started to consolidate as of candle number 5. And now it's just consolidating. So that's okay. But on a 4-hour chart, my breakout level is suddenly $500 less. Does it make a big difference in the big picture? Absolutely not. But it's interesting to see that. And on the 1-hour chart, can we define that even further? Can we have an even lower breakout area on the 1-hour chart, waiting for the MRI? And the answer is maybe, because on the 1-hour chart, I have this blue line at the swing top, and I've had this blue line. I must have had it earlier. I mean, I don't think I drew it in the last 7 hours because I haven't looked at the price. So yeah, this would have been 1 a.m. last night. So this must have been there from before. It's probably from the 4-hour chart, actually. And right here, it's going to be the close. So here it's 67,500. Once we get back and make a new 1-hour hourly close, I become bullish. We are super close to the prior swing high, and then super close to the prior swing high. We don't have any MRI resistance here, so everything is just clean. And we're almost on a green star candle on the 1-hour. We can get it on this hour if we go up to 67,250, or on the next hour if we go above this hour's high. On the 1-hour chart, there's really no need for a pullback based on moving averages like there was on the 4-hour. That's pretty much it. I know a lot of people like the 3-day chart. I haven't looked at it in a while. Maybe I'll glance at that. I'm not even, I don't usually look at that, but for some reason, I'm going to go to 1-day chart and put on a 3-day chart. People really like the MRI on a 3-day chart.
I'm a big 3-day guy. Big 3-day guy.
Ah, what a bad data error here. It's even more egregious than I know the others. So we're working on a straight up doji candle right now. We topped on one of your red diamonds. We had an MRI warning, but not a proper MRI top. We didn't properly pull back to clean support. I would feel a lot more comfortable right now if the price had actually come down to that 58,000 that I've mentioned a few times, but it never did. Okay, so yeah, there's not much I can comment on the 3-day chart. I don't really see all that much there. But the daily chart has no data errors, so I like this one. I like this doji candle. It should look exactly the same on a 3-day. And man, it just needs to get over this moving average.
Yeah.
It needs to get over this moving average. I wish we pulled back further and touched the next moving average. And I wish we would have done it right here along with the Fibonacci line, but we didn't get that perfect dip. That's why I wasn't screaming buy the dip or, knife catch this thing. Missed the knife catch, but that's okay. The breakout trade should lead us nicely into the $80,000 range. I still think that is coming sooner than later. And we haven't talked about long-term projections in a while. I think 100,000 by September, or worst case scenario, end of year, is a totally reasonable expectation for Bitcoin this year. All right, I'm going to get off screen share. I can comment real quick on the ETFs. Last week was one of the worst weeks for ETF, I guess, hodl positions. GBTC sold 30,000 Bitcoin, and all the other ETFs only picked up the slack on about 16, 17,000 of those. So there was a net selling of about 15,000 Bitcoin. That's a rough week. I don't think we're going to repeat that. I think GBTC might sell 20,000 this week, and the other ETFs should be able to absorb that much. I think as the price moves to that 68, 69, there's going to be massive FOMO into the ETFs. And eventually the selling of GBTC needs to stop because they're going to run out of coins.
Yeah, I agree, mate. And just to finish off the show, if you are interested in trading, please use the affiliate links in the description below, and please use the Discord group. This has been, I know this has been, could be considered difficult trading, but I've done really well, and there's been chances in this volatility. It's to make some really great trades. I've really loved this, like the fact that we had these great run-ups, all the way up.
Oh, did Bangbox fire up anything last night?
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. But like all these drops here, they're 10% drops, 10% rises, 10% drops, 10% rises. This is great trading if you're using, alphanumerics or the MRI on the lower time frames. If you know how to trade, if you know how to use money management, getting back inside the green wave twice, I mean, there's just a beautiful entries to get some great 10% moves here, and with leverage as well. That's just been brilliant. Now, I'll talk about Bangbox. We've suspended the alerts on Bangbox for another day or two because we need to retweak the code. It kept firing like warning signals, like warning, which we added to the code just really quickly to add because we wanted people to see, have warning before a signal would come. But it was firing too many warnings. It was meeting the criteria too regularly. So there was. I'm sorry about that. I've disabled the alerts for a minute, and I've already fixed it on my end. But it'll be back online. I'm hoping tomorrow. My partner is in Bali right now, and he's very sick with dengue. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, damn, he got dengue. Damn,
yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
yeah,
I was gonna say, shouldn't it be a simple tweak where
I've done it.
Once you fire off one warning, don't fire off another warning within 6 hours. Like it doesn't matter if it triggers the criteria again. Just put it's a warning, right? Like don't fire off another warning within 6 hours.
I've done it on my end, but it has to. But Baloo runs the Discord group, so the connection.
Oh, you gotta fire it. You gotta propagate the code change through the production environment.
Right.
Dude,
so
thanks to my job. Oh my god.
right. I mean, it's
back on Wall Street.
So like, look, it did fire signals and it did do everything. We see how the prep came in too regularly. We need that just to be the once to do these signals. So everyone was waiting in the group. Unfortunately, it didn't fire the way we wanted it to. So we've suspended it. We're going to update that. I've already done my end, and it'll be done. So, but you're still welcome to join the Discord group right now. You've got access to everything if you just use the affiliate links in the description below. And maybe tomorrow we'll have it up and running. But there's been some signals coming in. They're coming in loud and clear. All right. Awesome. It's going to be a great week. Was it like a week or 2 weeks ago? I had like a feeling in my stomach. I was like, I'm bearish, and it ended up being right. And I don't know what that was based on, but I was right. I called the top.
All right. So is your feeling right now that we're bullish?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Perfect.
As I said, it might be the cold and flu pills and the beer, but I'm feeling good. I'm very long right now, very, very, very long. So I'm really excited. But please understand, tomorrow when you come to this in 12 hours, in 24 hours time, I might be out of that trade. So don't just bet on that. Do your own shit. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And yeah, follow Financial Summit on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, and like and subscribe. We would love to get some more viewers.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.